My name is Elizabeth, and I'm here to discuss the achievement gap within education and a solution I have come up with to fix that gap within my community. The achievement gap is the measure of inequality of education in America, specifically centered around groups who are defined by their socioeconomic status, race, ethnicity, and gender. The gap is caused by a number of different realities in our education system today, including a lack of resources allocated to schools. School funding is dictated by income tax, which means that schools in more affluent areas have the funding to pay for better resources and tools. It is also caused by a lack of teacher training. Teachers placed in schools with less funding tend to have lower degrees, with a possible lack of knowledge on how to teach students from different backgrounds or how to give those students an equitable education. Another reason for the achievement gap in the United States is the socioeconomic status and lack of parent education among more diverse groups such as African Americans and Hispanics. When families are living at or below the poverty line, it is hard for parents to not have a lot of extra stress, including working longer hours or extra jobs. This causes them to not be around as much to help their children with homework, as well as a potential lack of investment within their child's education. My proposed solution to help fix the gap within my community has two parts. The first part is more education and professional development for teachers to help them understand and implement a more equitable curriculum, one that incorporates all high track classes to push students to want to do their best while understanding different cultures have different perspectives on how they learn. Making sure teachers are more educated in these differences will enable them to teach accordingly and to not box children in from different socioeconomic or racial and cultural backgrounds. In order to achieve the first part of my solution, I will need to find other teachers who are willing and wanting the same for their students. After we have a group, we will need to do research on the ways more professional development and classes will help to close the gap, along with research on different classes and opportunities within our community that we can utilize. Then we will need to attend a school board meeting to present our research and share what we will need to make these classes a reality. The board will need to okay funding, or we will need to find funding from outside sources that will help pay for teachers to go to trainings or bring in someone to teach them. Examples of the professional development we will find and offer will be curriculum training, multicultural teaching training, and so on. The second part of my plan is giving teachers and parents the ability to be a team and helping students to be successful. The first thing I will do is go to talk to teachers about ways they feel are best to connect with the families in their classrooms, whether it is through apps like Seesaw or just regular email. Once we have established the best ways to communicate, we will make sure communication is daily and that there are monthly meetings with families at school or at their homes, which will give them more information, and teachers and parents the ability to collaborate to help their student to be as successful as possible. This step is to bring children's education into their home. I feel that through implementing both of these strategies, the children within our schools are going to be given more of an opportunity to really thrive within their education. When teachers are better trained and gain a better understanding of how to implement equity within their classrooms, along with gaining more understanding about curriculum use and getting parents more involved, we will be able to give students an education that will help them to excel. The obstacles that might occur within this plan come mostly from pushback and a lack of want and funding. The pushback which could occur would be from the school board in terms of lack of funding for more professional development. It could come from teachers not wanting to dedicate any time to learning or not thinking it is necessary, along with saying that there is a lack of time for both more professional development or more teacher parent interaction. The pushback from parents in terms of being able to help their children at home would be that they don't have time because they are keeping one job or more in order to support their family. All of these pushbacks have solutions if we work together to be problem solvers. For example, a lack of funding could be fixed by finding free webinar professional development or finding funding from fundraising instead. Teachers' pushback can be curbed by giving more options that fit into their schedule when it comes to taking classes, and family pushback with time constraint could be fixed by teachers working with every family individually to come up with ways that work best for everyone to support their child's education at home and in the classroom. I hope that the outcome of my solution enables teachers to become more invested in wanting to give their students an education fit for them and one that is not dulled down. I also hope that within this plan, teachers and families are able to create a more fluid support system for students that bridges home and school. Ultimately, my goal is to see the gap begin to close between the more affluent and non affluent schools within my community, where people cannot say one school's test scores are hugely different from another, and where the teachers I know that teach at both schools are teaching their children through the same curriculum in equitable classrooms. This is important for the divide among the socioeconomic statuses in my community to become more faint, and to see that there is a chance for children to change their paths and become socially mobile through their education, which is the most important step within the mobility. Thank you.